A lot of families are wrestling with whether or not to gather for Thanksgiving this year, given the rise in COVID cases. But another topic that may make the decision harder is whether family or friends are even vaccinated. That's a very hard conversation to have, especially with your kids. Dr. Sheryl Ziegler is a psychologist and is here to help us find a way to start that tough conversation. Good morning, Dr. Ziegler.
Good morning.
So what's the best way to start the conversation about vaccination with your family?
So the best thing to do is to really try to be ahead of this. So basically to communicate this, say, hey, we're all gathering. What do opening it up with what do you feel comfortable with? Asking them. And then my fair bet is to say that at any Thanksgiving table this year, we're going to have a mix of opinions, thoughts, and probably even vaccination status. And so if you still know that you're willing to gather with people who aren't vaccinated, I say you want to have some sort of off the table conversations and ones that are on the table so that everyone's clear about what the boundaries are.
What about family members who are skeptical of the vaccine? How do you talk to those members?
Yeah, I think if they have a fixed mindset, meaning that they're very, very likely to not change their opinion and to really hold strong on what they think, you just don't even try to go there. And it's really not worth it. You have to remember, I might not love their position on X topic, but I love them. And so focusing on those on the table topics, things that you can talk about, what's happening in other parts of the world, what are interesting things we like to talk about, talking about the kids, their activities, things like that keep you engaged and connected, but out of that conflict.
Mm-hmm. What are some ways to talk about safely getting together?
So I think, it's coming up really soon. So hopefully this is a conversation people have. But I've heard everything from, everyone needs to take a rapid at-home test the morning of Thanksgiving, to some people saying everybody needs to be fully vaccinated, to some people even saying we're going to do this outside under heaters. I think that there's not one right way, but there's a way that you can engage people to come up with what is a safe plan that we all feel comfortable with. And so I've even heard being indoors for less than 2 hours. There's all different kinds of ideas out there. And so I just think the key here is honestly communicate and be really open up front. So there's no Thanksgiving Day, confusion or drama.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of communication, should the conversation be different when it comes to our kids, both talking to them and about them and their safety?
Yeah, I think by now, even I'm surprised working with so many kids. Kids are very well aware that 5 to 12, you can be vaccinated now. And a lot of kids want to get vaccinated. And of course, it's going to depend on what they're hearing inside of their homes. But by and large, I think what they're hearing in the schools is that this is the right thing to do and you should do it. So just know that your young child might have their own opinion, even if it differs from others around vaccine status and what you should do. So I would talk to them ahead of time and just say, some people have different opinions. It's okay to express yours briefly, but then we're going to move on and talk about some other fun things.
All right, Dr. Ziegler, thanks so much for the advice.
Thank you.